I'm Kaplan America. Welcome to this month's auction at Kaplan Cycles. Buy a raffle ticket today for $10. Subscribe to the channel or I'll tase you. If you want to see your bike in the next Kaplan Cycles auction, give us a call. We'll buy your whole collection or one bike anywhere in the United States. Subscribe today or else. Wheels out of service. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this classic. This is one of the crown jewels, I was looking for the right word, from the Randy Gillespie collection. This is one of 22 pristine classic motorcycles we purchased from his radiant floor heated, insulated, no windows facility, which is probably the best place to store a motorcycle. Zero condensation, climate controlled. There's no patina on this bike. It's just remarkable in so many ways. This is the nicest original 75 Triumph, 70s Triumph we've gotten in, bar none. This is original paint. Everything on the bike's original. The engine's never been cracked open. The only modifications from original is the intake and exhaust, period correct modifications. And you can see the exhaust is in brand new condition. It's made by Hyde, H-Y-D-E, and it's a BSAU 1937 part number on there. You can see the Hagon shocks are also a period correct modification upgrade from the stock ones. Fit and finish on the bike is a 10 for a 75 Triumph. It's a 12. This bike right here was arguably, and I don't even think it's really arguably, it's just I'll make the statement, this is the pinnacle of English motorcycle engineering in the era prior to Triumph finally closing its doors in the late 70s. This is the pinnacle of British English motorcycle engineering. It is the only super bike ever to come out of England, and this is a combination of the Norton, Villiers, Triumph NVT combined efforts. You can see on the back right here it says by Norton Triumph, made in England. This is the original sticker here, folks. This is original, let's see, 50-year-old sticker. This bike's 50 years old. This is half a century, and it is absolutely stunning. Randy, this was one of Randy's favorite bikes in the collection, and you can see that he's taken really good care of it since he's had it. He's had it for over 20 years, and it was a one-owner bike before him. He bought it from the original owner. It's something he hunted for a while. He knew the guy that had it. He really wanted the bike, and he kept it in pristine condition. He didn't ride it much. It only has 12,000 miles. Now, Randy's the guy that had 40 motorcycles, okay? So he obviously had his choice of bikes to ride. He had some new Harleys, and this was one of his crown jewels out of the collection. Absolutely the finest Triumph from the 70s we've had yet. The original factory paint on it is stunning. It's a hand pinstriped, gold pinstripes with the cream white paint job with the orangish, yellowish Triumph swoop on there. Just beautiful. The chrome on the front fenders, mint. The chrome on the headlight is mint. The finest I've seen out of a 70s Triumph. The turn signals, the handlebars, the grips, the levers, everything's just beautiful on there. No evidence of the bike ever being dropped. No repainting done on the bike. It's all original. just stunning. The original factory saddles in mint shape. Most of the Triumphs that Tridents we've got in were seized, rotten piles of shit that could never be turned into this. Or if they were, they still wouldn't be an original. They're only original once. Just a remarkable machine. And I'm sure the inside of the tank is in mint condition. I'm sure when you heard it go down the street, that the unmistakable howl of a 750cc 3-cylinder superbike is just remarkable. Now this was the 5-speed transmission, the left side shift. Now this Trident, this isn't like the earlier Tridents from which they came out in 1968. They made over 200 refinements on this particular model, which was a 2-year run, 75 and 76. And you gotta, from the angle you're at, Junior, I think you can see, but if you come around the other side, you can probably even see it better. Looking from this side here, starting with the steering stem, they tucked in the steering stem 1 degree from 29 to 28 degrees, I believe it was, or maybe it was 28 to 27. Yeah, the front end is tucked in a little bit more, and the forks were a little bit shorter. It still has the 19-inch front and rear wheel, which is in itself a classic look with the spoke wheels. But they also changed the frame, and they raised the down tube a little bit higher. The double cradle on the bottom is a little bit higher. Right here.
Yeah, well, you're in the way. So
okay. Let me get the fuck out of the way then. So the ground clearance is a little bit better because they raised the frame up. They changed the steering degree, and they have Timken roller bearings up in the steering stem, and they also lengthened the swing arm a little bit too. So it gave it a longer, leaner look and better ground clearance. They also went to the left side shifter, and probably the most remarkable thing is for this period, this was the first electric start Trident. They were competing with Honda at the time, who had electric start, and this is an electric start. It does have the Kickstarter. If you ever kill the battery, you can kickstart it, but it is an electric start Trident, which is a 2-year only thing. The gauges are pretty remarkable too, just the way they're set in this pod right here with the middle oil gauge, just beautiful. The gauges look to be in brand new condition. 12,000 miles, and it had 11,000 miles on it when Randy bought it, so in over 20 years he put under 1,000 miles on it. The tires are in good condition. The shocks are in brand new condition. Chains and sprockets, all the running gear is good, and you can see the chrome on the pipe is beautiful. It looks like a brand new 3-in-1 exhaust because the exhaust has less than 1,000 miles on it. The cylinder fins, heads, everything, matching numbers. Just a beautiful piece. Matching number, engine cases to the frame. This is an unfettered original classic. There's, as far as items that aren't original on it, I already covered that. The exhaust system and the intake. That's about it. The rest of the bike's all original. Seat, chrome, everything. Beautiful piece. Good luck finding a nicer one. There aren't many Tridents left like this, and it's a 50-year-old classic, so it's only going up in value. Anybody want to add their 2 cents in on this one?
I got a little something.
Okay.
All right.
Billy Blythe, one of our veteran riders here, wants to put his 2 cents in on it. So let's see what he has to add to it.
Well, the fact that later model Triumphs Tridents made in Meriden use BSA crankcases, so the cylinders are canted forward slightly.
I forgot about that.
The Trident originally had straight up and down cylinders, where this is a much later and a better design. Those crankcases are used by road racers in England, like at the Isle of Man, where they use the Trident. And another thing is that the Hagen rear shocks, they're period correct. They're an upgrade from the original shocks, quite a bit better shock, more modern innards than the Girlings that came originally. And I know that's an OEM Triumph seat, and I believe it's from a different model, but it's perfectly appropriate and correct for this bike.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have known, nor did Randy disclose that. But the cylinders being canted forward is something I had read about these too, which in combination with the redesigned frame, what I had read was there was over 200 mechanical revisions over the original Trident that this model had replaced, and really they considered it the first real super bike. The Trident was the first super bike from England, and just a fantastic piece.
Notice on the fender here it says made in England by Norton Triumph. This is when Norton and Triumph conspired to build bikes together in the same factory in Meriden. And it was, nearing the end of the road for them, but it was still when they were very strong and making an absolutely magnificent motorcycle. The Trident was fully developed at this point.
yeah, it was 68 to 75. They had, what, a 7-year run of making these. So they had worked out over 200 refinements on it. A top speed of 126 miles per hour with just under 60 horsepower. Really made this stand out in Triumph's legacy, and a great note to end on before they close the doors. But truly a collector's piece. It's going on display in the New England Motorcycle Museum. We have a section here specifically for Triumphs. This will be the crown jewel of that section till it finds a new home. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Not too many vintage British bikes can do this. It's a nice feature. If you have any questions about this beauty, give us a call. Thanks for watching. Long live the Queen. God bless America.